Okay, 2005 Triumph Daytona 650 with only about 740 miles on it. This is my second test ride video. The first one I had the camera pointing too low and all you could see was the tactile ride, most of it. So I thought I'd do another one. Such a pretty area around here. Thought you guys might want to go for a ride and see it. So we're in Colorado Springs on the west side. 6,500 feet. So if you're at sea level, this bike would have 20 to 30% more power. But it's faster. It's a nice bike. So we're at 746 for miles now. I don't want to ride it this thing too much. Shit. Let's turn it around this way. Low fuel light. There's plenty in there for this ride. It's 91 octane non-ethanol gas in there. Beautiful day. About 70 degrees, November 2nd, 22. It's a GoPro 7 with a purple panda mic, if you're wondering. It's also right in front of my mouth, so you might hear a little mouth breathing going on. Well, here's all the traffic now. Last time, original ride, there was none. You couldn't see anything around it, so other than the tack. This is such a nice bike. It's a like I said, a 05 Daytona 650. It's an inline 4-cylinder, not a 3. Liquid cooled, fuel injected. 6-speed transmission. It has 114 horsepower, 363 pound dry weight. It's quarter mile times are supposed to be 10.9 seconds, 0 to 60 3.3, top speed of 156 to 160 depending on who you read. This is called Gold Camp Road. We're on the west side of the Springs. It's a nice little ride. Won't go too fast through here. Plus I'm on the original tires, so high speed's probably not a good idea. So I'm 63. This bike is comfortable to me. Doesn't hurt my wrists. I'm bent forward, but not crazy. Just one of these people needs to decide where they're going. She's fast. Not insane, but it's fast. Handles great. It's a really nice handling bike. I've had a lot of bikes, and the suspension handling and brakes on this are just, truthfully, I was surprised how good they were when I first rode it. Turn around here. The throttle fuel injection mapping is nice and smooth on this bike. It's not a snatchy throttle like some bikes, FC09 in particular, that I know of. Those bikes are really snatchy on the throttle. This thing just makes you want to just dive into corners. Off the turn signal. So I do a lot of off-road dirt bike riding. Not quite as much street riding. Like I said, I'm 63, so I'm gonna do as much dirt bike riding here. This is practically dirt biking paradise around here. I'm going to do as much dirt bike riding while my body's holding up as I can, and maybe I have to switch over to all street bike riding later, but not yet. So this is called Bear Creek down in here. There's a little creek off to the left. On the first ride I came through here, there's deer out here. So between the deer, sometimes there's cops down here, lots of driveways, blind corners, and people going slow looking at the scenery. I don't go fast through this area, ever. Bike is just smooth engine, nice linear power. When you hit 6 grand, it starts building pretty hard, and from there on up, it really screams. But down in the 3,000 or 4,000 RPM range, it still pulls just fine. Where you're driving mellow at that RPM anyway. So this bike had one owner, and he was older than me, and I'm 63. He was in the 70s, somewhere in the 70s. He was an attorney up in Denver, and he bought it. He was in his 50s when he bought it, and then immediately, or soon after he bought it, he got vertigo, and then later had a stroke. So a sad story with him, but so the bike sat in an air-conditioned and heated garage for its whole life. It got started occasionally, at least. Yeah, it got started occasionally. I don't know all the details on that. I know they got ready to sell it in 2020, and they put a new fuel pump in it, did the fork seals, engine ice in it at that time. I got it and did the I flushed the brakes, and you know, I washed it. It just had minor thin layer of dust on it, and there was evidence that it had never been washed in its whole life. It's just pristine. I've had nice older bikes, but never as clean as this. It's just like a museum piece. This is a pretty area up here. You can see the whole city off to the left there once we get up here. A lot of bike riders. A lot of side driveways and here too, so it's just not a place to be going crazy at unless you're an idiot. KTM. There's this road turns to dirt up here, and there's a trail called Captain Jack's. That's a hardcore dirt bike trail, but you can follow the dirt road it goes through some old railroad tunnels, and it's a nice place to like dual sport ride on that road. Captain Jack's is not for dual sports. Like I said, houses and driveways everywhere through here. So if you're thinking of buying this bike and live a ways away, Colorado Springs is a great place to come and visit. Lots of outdoor stuff, lots of tourist type things. City's big enough, has all kinds of things to do. I'm not really a city guy myself, but if you like the city, they've got a set up for tourism, truthfully. There's a good reason not to be going super fast. There's a turnaround up here. Use that. I'm not going to go on the dirt part. So there's the city. Another biker going down the trail. Wasn't going off a cliff. That's downtown. I think I'm pointing at it. I can't really tell. With the brown buildings, that's downtown Springs right there. And then you can see the plains out to the east. And we're at the very foothills of the Rockies right here. They spring up right here and get big fast. Anyway, let's keep going. So I don't know if you can see the tack or not now. I aimed this camera up so you can see the scenery. So that was just like up to 6,000 in shift. We're at 4 now. Good RPM for your normal everyday when you're not hammering on it riding. So like I said, I'm 63 and I was a machinist tool and die maker for too long, 30 years. I'm from Wisconsin, the country, farmland, Wisconsin. I've been out here for 24 years, I think now. Came out here with my daughter when she was little. She's here, married, just got married. And I'm semi-retired and I ride bikes, work on bikes. And I found this one. It's the cleanest old bike. It's not old, but you just don't see them like this. It's pristine, not a flaw. I can't find a flaw in it, and I'm a perfectionist, which went well with being a machinist and a tool and die maker. Sometimes it's not so great when you're working on bikes because I can't stop myself from getting everything perfect, and I can't find a flaw on this bike. It's pretty much what you'd buy out of the showroom, brand new, other than it has 700 right now, 53 miles on it. Be nice to get by this truck. But I'm not going to do it where I can't see. I can't see here. Not sure what he's doing. What a fun bike. I wish I could get more time on it, truthfully. I feel so confident on it. You know, for you young guys that like to do wheelies, this thing does do wheelies. I did it on my first, a couple on my first test ride, but probably won't this time. I don't know. Second one I did, it came up good, and it was cruising along, and as the RPMs passed into the maybe 7,000 or 8,000 RPM range, it really started pulling, and the front end started coming up higher, fat, kind of not crazy fast, not that bad, but it surprised me a little. And yeah, this thing's too perfect to have anything go wrong on. So it was a nice controlled wheelie. It turned out, and I don't have enough experience on the bike to know exactly how it feels. But I had a GSXR 1000, and that thing was, compared to this, that thing was brutal. Just a little, wheeling that was a little scary. Things happen fast. And even just normal riding on that bike, by the time you hit second gear, you were going around 90 or 100 miles an hour, you know, just barely click in the second and gas it for a second and second there, up near red line, and it was just, you weren't having any fun on it until you were going 100 miles an hour. So this bike is much more, let's say, user friendly. You can hammer on it, and by the way, my revving it obviously is not going to hurt it. The bike is designed to be revved. I don't beat the crap out of my stuff. And anyway, you can hammer on this, have some fun without going at speeds that would be more likely to kill you, or if you lose your license. I also had a Hayabusa for a while, and that bike actually was quite gentle, smooth and torquey. I mean, it was fast, but not like the GSXR. That thing was a lot lighter, shorter, and just a crazy amount of power for such a light bike. The Hayabusa was the best burnout bike I ever had. Not that I do a lot of burnouts, but they're fun. Well, now and then, you know, why have some performance if you can't play with it? So I kind of like to get on it one more time, and this guy could be a problem, depending on which way he goes up here. Could probably pass him. Oh, he's turning good. Go, go, go. you go. She's fast. That's 12,000 RPM. It just, this whole confidence, inspiring in the corners. Now these are old tires, so I'm not gonna push anything too hard. Had a little incident around this corner once, so didn't crash, but there was people in the road pushing a cart when I came around it. I didn't even realize it was a blind corner until after that day. In fact, I have this Arai helmet now. I bought this helmet after that little terrifying incident. There's a car coming from the other way. Two homeless people, a couple, girl on one side, the guy pushing a cart on the other, arguing in the road, the car trying to come out around them, and I came around that corner on a VFR 800 at probably 60 miles an hour, and there they were, and the car was out in the road, and it was like, oh my god. I threaded the needle in between everything, hit the back brake, back end slid, let off the brake to keep her under control, and oh, it was scary. So right after that I bought this Arai helmet, and I don't go crazy on that corner ever again. What a smooth, nice, powerful bike. Just makes me want to ride more. Anyway, we're back. Normally I'm not such a big fan of sport bikes, but this one could change my mind. I like naked bikes. In fact, I recently had a Hyper Motard 797. Anyway, there's the test ride. It's a great bike.